What is a classic album? Well, if you ask me, a classic album is any album made with intention, love, care, and even more important or just as important, purpose. And in hip hop, I think the most recent example that we have of that is none other than Kendrick Lamar's GNX. Now, some people would definitely call me crazy for saying that GNX is a classic album because it's only been out for a year at this point. But let's not pretend that this is the first or the only instant classic, so to speak, that we've had in hip hop and in music in general. GNX has all of the ingredients to be a classic album. It has replay value. It has hits. It has lyricism. It has messages, deep, vulnerable songs like The Heart Part 6. And it is also the most replayed rap album of 2025 according to streaming. And it just garnered what is now the highest grossing hip hop tour in history. GNX was released in November of 2024, and that was obviously right after the aftermath of the feud between him and Drake. And my interpretation of GNX is two things. Number one, it was Kendrick having a chip on his shoulder and feeling like he still had something to prove. But even more so, I think it was a testament to the West Coast, to the West Coast sound, to West Coast hip hop. Especially when you take into consideration that it has West Coast producers on it such as DJ Mustard. And again, when we go back to the ingredients of a classic album, not only does GNX have the ingredients to be considered a classic, but it has the impact, it has the numbers, it has the streams, the sales. It was a surprise album when it dropped. Now, obviously, yes, there might have been rumors and conversations or some belief that Kendrick was going to drop an album, but there was no confirmation. Nobody was really able to put their hands on it except for the people that were actually involved in the production and the making of GNX. And as we have found out in recent times, GNX was already in development at least a year to 2 years prior to the feud. Man at the Garden and Squabble Up were the first two songs that were recorded for GNX. And now it makes perfect sense why at the beginning of the Not Like Us music video, Squabble Up, the opening snippet of it, was played at the beginning of the music video. And as we fast forwarded at the end of 2025, I think the GNX impact is felt more than ever. And I can only see this album continuing to age like fine wine as time goes on. It might not be as unique as To Pimp a Butterfly. It might not be the storytelling masterpiece of Good Kid, Mad City. And it's not as big of a commercial hit as Damn. But if you take into consideration and really analyze the album, you can come to a conclusion that in a sense, Kendrick Lamar took some type of inspiration, took some type of notes from his previous work, and had just a little bit of everything to cook up something real nice for hip hop. And this has been one of the most discussed albums of the year 2025, especially since GNX was released at the end of 2024. And I don't think it's going to surprise anybody if GNX goes big at the Grammys, whether it wins Album of the Year or Rap Album of the Year. I don't think it's going to come as a shock to anybody. Kendrick Lamar was already a superstar before the release of GNX. He was already a superstar way before the feud between him and Drake. But I think GNX took him to an even higher level. Not just as a rapper, but as an overall artist and his body of work. And we are witnessing one of the greatest runs in the history of not just hip hop, but in music in general. And GNX is playing a huge part in that for Kendrick. But that'll be all for today. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We have plenty of content on the way. Comment down below if you think GNX is a classic, or if it's not a classic. Do you think that it can age into a classic? Does it just need more time? Let us know down below your overall thoughts for this album and the impact of it a year after its release. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, peace and love to everybody.